Good morning to all. Is it loud and clear? Audio is on. Let us start the session with vocabulary. What is the first word? Massacre. We have got massacre many a time. Part of speech noun. An indiscriminate and brutal slaughter. Underline the word brutal. Underline the word slaughter. Slaughter means killing. And write one expression, slaughterhouse. Have you heard of this? Where animals are killed. Who kills those animals? Write the word butcher. You all know that word as well. Slaughterhouse. But when people are killed on a large scale, brutally, we use the term massacre. Indiscriminate and brutal slaughter of many people. Solidarity, a simple word, part of speech noun. In one word, solidarity means what? Unity, simple word. Concert, we got this morning also in the mock test paper. A musical performance given in public, but bracket you write either vocal or instrumental. Please write that. Either vocal, singing, vocal, or instrumental. Any music program, vocal or instrumental, we have to say concert. What is the next one? Crib. Part of speech noun. Crib is singular, cribs plural. And it goes with a child. What is the meaning of that? A child's bed. But there's another word you have to know. Please write the word cradle. Have you heard of this? Both mean the same, cradle. You put the baby in the cradle or in the crib. Next one, atrocities we got last week, if you remember, a familiar word. I would like to tell you guys, whenever you come across a familiar word, please write the letter F. That means you're sure about that word. Part of speech noun, an extremely wicked or cruel act. You have to underline two words, wicked and cruel. Typically one involving physical violence or injury. In our country, generally we use this with atrocities against SCs and STs. There is a law also. Last time also we got in that, regarding that background. Hostage, an important word. What is the meaning of the word hostage? A person held as security for the fulfillment of a condition. But in this context, when it comes to terrorists, they take some people and those people are held hostage. Here I would like to give a few words. First you write the word kidnap. Someone gets kidnapped and those who kidnap that person demand money. What is the word for that? I want you to learn that word, ransom. A ransom means money demanded by the kidnappers. And sometimes what happens, the person who gets kidnapped falls in love with the kidnapper. That's a strange, crazy thing. What is that called? Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome. Have you heard of this any time? Stockholm Syndrome. A girl gets kidnapped. After some time, she falls in love with the kidnapper. If it happens every time, people start kidnapping beautiful girls. Yes or no? That should not happen. What is the next one here? Condemn. N is silent, part of speech verb. Express complete disapproval of something. Publicly express disapproval, condemn. Retaliate goes with everyday English, goes with effective English. Part of speech verb. Make an attack in return for a similar attack. Someone troubles you, you trouble that person. Then what is it called? Retaliation, an important word. Nuance also we have got many a time, but put a star mark. Not easy to remember. Nuance, part of speech noun. A very slight difference in appearance, meaning or sound. And write one more word. Please write the plural form of this. The nuances of something means slight differences. For the word slight, you have to know another word, subtle. The letter B is silent. Subtle, slight, nuance, they all mean the same. But subtle is an important word, so is nuances. What is the next word? Obligation. Please put a star mark, the word obligation. An act or course of action to which a person is morally or legally bound, a duty or commitment. You can also add the word responsibility. Please add the word responsibility. But why I said put a star mark, exam point of view, there is something you have to recollect. When it comes to modals or helping verbs, we have a few helping verbs which are used to express an obligation. Tell me what is a helping verb that is used to express a personal obligation. All of you please write must and write personal obligation. We use must to express a personal obligation. Obligation imposed by the speaker. One meaning. Another meaning, to convey the idea something is compulsory. And write have to, has to. We use this also to express an obligation. But obligation imposed by an external authority. This is important. Obligation imposed by whom? External authority or a situation. This has been given many a time. And what is the past form? Had to. Tomorrow you get the job, the first day induction, someone receives you and they talk about your responsibilities, obligations imposed by the top management. They say you have to report to the manager. You have to come by 8:30. You have to attend the meetings every Saturday. That is external authority. Imagine today is the last day to pay the electricity bill. What will I say? I have to pay the bill today. That goes with the situation. Very important. What is the next one here? Abhor, an important word they have given many a time in bank exams. And what is the noun form? Write the noun form of this word, abhorrence. 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 Regard something with disgust or hatred. Disgust, underline the word disgust. What is disgusting? You go to a place, you see something, you don't feel like looking at that. Then what do you say? Disgusting. Something you hate to look at, something you hate to do, something you hate to face. Disgusting. And sometimes we use that with people. Some people are disgusting. Write the combination, disgusting people. Not a good one to use, but still you have to know. The next one is also an important word, condone. Put a star mark. They have given in bank exams many a time. Part of speech verb, accept behavior that is considered morally wrong or offensive. Next to it you write excuse. Condone means excuse someone's bad behavior or excuse someone's morally wrong behavior. Discriminate, differentiate. What is opposite? Indiscriminate. And it goes with killing. Terrorists, usually what do? They resort to indiscriminate killing. In that process, innocent people get died or killed. Done at random, without careful judgment. Usually terrorists resort to indiscriminate killing. Reprisal is a new word we have got for the first time. Please put a star mark. Part of speech noun. It also means the same, retaliation. Underline the word retaliation. The next word, grievances, we have got many a time. It goes with public life, part of speech noun. A real or imagined cause for complaint, especially unfair treatment. Usually we say, tell us about your grievances. Means what? Your problems. Unfair treatment. Is that the last word? Or we have some more? Oh, today a lot of words, I suppose. Insurgency. Insurgent, adjective. Write the noun form, insurgency. Usually it is used in the noun form. Insurgency. A person fighting against a government or invading force. Within the government, some people go against, then we use the term insurgency. It goes with defense, you know the word insurgency. Evacuate goes with a natural disaster. Whenever there is a natural disaster, people are shifted from that place to a safe place. What is the word for that? Evacuation, noun form. Remove someone from a place of danger to a safer place. And what is the last word here? Pound could be one meaning currency of the UK. What is the currency of the UK? Pound. But here what as a verb? Currency, it's a noun. Here it is a verb. What is the meaning as a verb? To hit or beat repeatedly with a lot of force. Underline the word beat. Put a star mark. What is the past form of beat? A lot of people think it is bet. Not correct. And what is the spelling of past form? B-E-A-T. And what is the past participle? And they make one more error. They tend to say, beat, bet, beaten. Wrong. There is no word like bet. That bet is different. Have a bet. Would you like to have a bet? Today, I think because of the cricket match, a lot of people will resort to bets. But here, beat, beat, beaten. Don't say beat, bet. Are you getting the point? Past form of beat is what? Beat, not bet. That you have to remember. All the words over. Shall I go to the editorial? What is this editorial about? I'm sure you all know what happened to the people of Israel at the outset. Based on that retaliatory act, what happened to people of Palestine? And any editorial that deals with a problem between two countries will start with the incident. Try to get the broad framework. Will start with the incident. Then it will talk about the response of India. What is the stand taken by India? And because it is a terrorist act, obviously India will not support. At the same time, it will not support Israel's actions also, because there is an angle called humanitarian angle. Now, what is happening in Gaza right now? Israel has been pumping in a lot of bombs continuously. And a lot of innocent people are getting killed, obviously. That cannot be supported. Then in the second part of the editorial, it provides the background information. Formation of Israel, and what was the stand that time taken by India, and the status of Palestinians, what has to be done. And finally, terrorism can never be justified, and there should be a permanent solution. This is a broad framework. How does it start? Balancing policy. As I said, it is a problem between two countries. India has to take a stand. It has to balance its foreign policy. It should not be in favor of Israel. It should not be in favor of Palestinians. Balancing policy on Israel, Palestine, and India's line of thinking. Underline India's line. Here, India's line means related to foreign policy or a response to the incident. But what is the main idea of this editorial? India must pressure Israel to act responsibly in the face of terror. Terror, Palestinians attacked. Innocent Israelis got killed, and some have been taken as hostages. But it doesn't mean that Israel should also resort to terrorism or violent behavior. So India has taken a stand. What is that stand? Or this is, underline the word must. This is the opinion of the editorial, a personal obligation. India must put pressure Israel to act responsibly. So India has to say Israel must act in a responsible manner in the face of terror. Entire editorial goes with that particular line. How does it start? Within hours of the massacre of Israeli citizens by Hamas fighters last Saturday, please underline the phrase within hours. Within hours of the massacre of Israeli citizens. All these are phrases by whom? By Hamas fighters last Saturday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tweeted India's solidarity with Israel. Obviously, initially, who attacked Israel? Palestinians. So we have to show the solidarity. It goes with Israel. Easy to understand. While the histories of their conflicts, what I have noticed is editorial. If you look at the first part, there are 5 or 6 sentences. Second part also 5 or 6 sentences. That means what? Lengthy sentences. You got to read twice, thrice to understand. Look at the second sentence. While the histories of their conflicts and the scale of violence, underline the phrase scale of violence. Here scale of violence means magnitude of violence. Write the word magnitude or range. While the histories of their conflicts and the scale of violence have been very different. Also underline have been very different. Which tense is that? Present perfect active voice or passive voice? Active voice. Have been different. Very different. India has faced terror, has faced, again present perfect. India has faced terror attacks all too often to not feel the pain in Israel, where what exactly happened because of the Hamas fighters' attacks, where teenagers at a concert, children in a park, grandparents at home, and even babies in cribs were gunned down amidst other atrocities Hamas carried out, including taking dozens hostage. So what does the sentence talk about? It talks about the pain inflicted by the terrorists or the negative impact that was made on innocent people. And the sentence talks about the range of people. The range includes babies, old people, and other groups as well. I think it is clear to understand. Atrocities already have given the meanings. Hostage have given the meaning. So I don't want to repeat. The sentiments were repeated when Mr. Modi spoke to Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, condemning terrorism in all its forms. India never supports terrorism. What is the reason? Tell me. India is known for what? Non-violence. India has given the world the concept of non-violence. Mahatma Gandhi. So India has never, will never support terrorism in any form. That's what the sentence reiterates. Terrorism in all its forms. Underline the phrase, terrorism in all its forms will never be justified, accepted. India's second big concern, again, whenever there is a problem, it could be a natural disaster, it could be a terrorist problem. Sometime back there was a problem in Canada. Khalistan, you all remember, Khalistan is, they wanted a separate state, and because of that tensions between India and Canada, a lot of Indians got scared. A lot of Indians are there in Canada. And obviously the government has to respond, give some sort of assurance. Here also, there are so many Indians, I do not know. When you read the next sentence, you understand how many Indians are there in Israel. It's a small country, you all know that. Look at the next one. Based on that, India as a country has concern. India's second big concern has been the safety of its citizens. And how many are there? Especially as Israel began retaliatory strikes on Gaza. Because Israel started retaliatory strikes, Indian government is worried about the citizens of India. Now it talks about the numbers. Around 18,000 Indians work or study in Israel. This is a bit surprising. I myself never thought. 18,000 is not a small number, huge number. Around 18,000 Indians work or study in Israel, in addition to about 85,000 Israelis of Indian origin. Underline, that is also very surprising. 85,000 Indians, Israelis of Indian origin. Have you ever thought of that? Never. And where are these people from? From Maharashtra, Manipur, Mizoram, Kerala, and West Bengal. Do we have Keralites here? Anyone from Kerala? There's a joke on them. Do you guys know that? Recently also it came into the limelight. You all remember Chandrayaan 3. Before they could land, there was someone selling tea. Who is that person? A Malayali. Have you got the joke? Malayalis usually go anywhere in the world. They are the first people to go. And what do? They start business. What business? Selling tea. You are not aware of that. Then you cannot understand this joke. Forget about that. We'll go back to all these people from Israelis of Indian origin, 85,000. That's a huge number. The Ministry of External Affairs has chartered flights, underline, has chartered flights to bring them home. We have something to do something. India has what? Chartered flights. What is the purpose? To bring these people back home. Underline the word home. Tell me what is the difference between home and house. Don't tell the spelling is different. Home means what? Wherever you live with your family, that is your home. That could be a cave, it could be a hut, it could be a tile house, it could be a mansion, it could be a bungalow, it could be a palace. You and your family, home. House is only a structure. I live somewhere, the house belongs to someone. Then I say, this is my home, but not my house. House belongs to someone else. Have you got the difference? Fine. Let us go to the next one. What does the next sentence talk about? New Delhi has also added nuance to the initial position. Means subtle difference in the stand taken initially and later stand. Nuance to the initial position, with the Ministry of External Affairs delivering the government's first formal statement. Any incident like this, the government has to give a statement, a formal statement, and they must have changed it slightly. While repeating the condemnation of the Hamas attacks, the statement reminded Israel about the universal obligation to observe international humanitarian law. As I said, first Hamas, they attacked. Now Israel is retaliating. While retaliating, India wanted Israel to remember there is something called humanitarian ground. You all know that. What is this humanitarian angle? Innocent people should never get affected. Innocent people should never lose their precious lives. So it reminded. The second statement reminded Israel about the universal obligation. Universal obligation means responsibility on every country to protect innocent people, to observe international humanitarian law as it carries out global responsibility to fight the menace of terrorism. I forgot to bring the word menace. Please underline that, put a star mark. What is the meaning of that word? Problem. But why is this important? You are all preparing for SBI, I suppose. You have SBI junior assistant, you have SBI PO, fast approaching. SBI PO, you have descriptive paper. In that you have to write one essay, one letter. Many a time in SBI letter writing, they use this word and write a few combinations. They ask the candidates to write a letter to a friend about menace of stray dogs. What is the meaning of stray dogs? Street dogs, they don't belong to anyone. Underline the word menace. Another time they asked menace of reckless drivers. Reckless drivers. Drunkards, another time. Menace of chain snatchers. Today I think Hyderabad, we have this problem. What is the problem? Chain snatching is a major problem. So they use this word, an important word you have to remember. Means a problem. Shall I continue? Where is this word menace? Menace of terrorism. That's also a problem. In addition, you can also think of the word besides. Besides means what? In addition. In addition, the Ministry of External Affairs reiterated, underline the word reiterate. I use regularly. Reiterate means what? To emphasize its long-standing and consistent position on the Palestine issue. India has a particular stand, taken a stand, and that is long-standing and consistent position on the Palestine issue. Based on the last sentence in the first part of the editorial, The second part continues with that particular dimension. It provides a background information. The statement is a reminder of the tightrope India has walked. Please underline, tightrope India has walked. Tightrope India has walked means a difficult situation to deal with. You cannot go this side, you cannot go that side. You cannot support Israel, you cannot support Palestine. So it's a tightrope walk. The statement is a reminder of the tightrope India has walked since 1992. Underline the word since 1992. So which tense are you supposed to use? Present perfect. It is in present perfect. When New Delhi established full diplomatic ties with Israel while continuing to support the Palestinian cause. On the one hand, they accepted Israel. On the other hand, they continued supporting Palestine issue. There has been a shift towards Israel's position. Underline, there has been a shift. Again, we have present perfect so many times. Present perfect. There has been a shift towards Israel's position. Why? Given increasingly close bilateral relations, trade, technological assistance, military procurement, and counter-terrorism cooperation. Because of all these, we have ties with Israel. That stand has been changed. And it talks about the change in the stand or foreign policy to substantiate. In 2017, Mr. Modi became the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Israel, while in 2018, Mr. Netanyahu visited India. However, Mr. Modi was also the first Indian Prime Minister to make an official visit to Palestine. He visited both the places, first one to do that. In 2017, India voted against the US and Israel for an attempt to declare unilaterally all of Jerusalem as the Israeli capital. They took a stand against two countries. What are the two countries? One, the US and Israel. Why did they take? These two countries tried to declare unilaterally. What is the meaning of the word unilaterally? Without consulting anyone else. Uni means one, single-handedly. Without consulting other countries, these two countries decided to declare Jerusalem as the Israeli capital. That was opposed by India. India did not accept that. The policy lines New Delhi is continuing to draw seem clear. So what is the foreign policy? What are the lines India is trying to draw to abhor terrorism? That means to consider terrorism act as an act of disgust, not acceptable. But not to condone indiscriminate reprisal bombings. Not to condone. Condone means what? Accept someone's bad behavior, morally wrong behavior. Not to condone indiscriminate reprisal bombings. If any country resorts to indiscriminate killings, can it be justified? No. Is it acceptable? Can we condone? We cannot. That's what it means. Even as it holds its consistent position on Palestine. No claim to righting historical grievances, historical problems, can possibly be used by Hamas to explain its inhuman attacks on Israel. Palestinians may say we have a reason to attack Israel because of historical problems, historical grievances. But that is not something you can justify. What is the reason? They have a problem with Israel. It doesn't mean that they have to attack and kill innocent people. Because of that attack, I think in 20 minutes, 5,000 missiles were fired. Am I right? Just 20 minutes. Imagine 5,000 missiles into the land of Israel. A lot of innocent people must have got killed, and that cannot be justified. However, a responsible state cannot behave like an insurgent group. Insurgency is a major problem in many countries. Insurgency means what? A revolt. Simple word. A revolt against the government. And state, underline the word state here. Here state means country, not a state like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh. However, a responsible state cannot behave like an insurgent group, and Israel's latest demand that more than 1 million Gaza residents must evacuate as it continues to pound the city and plans a possible ground offensive, will make Delhi's challenge at balancing policy even more complex. It is a complex issue, not easy to deal with. Have a look at the tone of this editorial. What is the tone of this editorial? Balanced and thoughtful. For thoughtful, write another expression, thought-provoking. Thought-provoking. Sometimes what happens, we see movies regularly, only for the sake of entertainment. But sometimes when we come out of the theater, we start thinking about the plot. We start thinking about the theme of the movie. Then we say it is a thought-provoking movie. So write the combination as well. Thought-provoking movie. It makes you think, it makes you contemplate, it makes you introspect. An important expression. And it discusses what? India's position in the Israel-Palestine conflict and its concerns regarding recent events without taking a strongly partisan stance. Partisan, underline the word, supporting a particular group. We cannot do that. We have to balance and we have to make it neutral. Now I'll give a choice. Shall we go to questions or exercises? Please have a look at excuse me. Today you see new questions, new format. Give the feedback later. Read the first one. What is the error in the sentence? Read the sentence and tell me what the error is. Reporting so far indicates that while there is no anti-incumbency against the Chief Minister. What is the error in the sentence? If no error, you have to say no error. How many of you say no error? How many of you say there is an error? What is the error? One word is not required. Which word is that? Actually, it is not the complete sentence. It is part of the sentence I have taken. And based on that part of the sentence, here we cannot use the word while. Strike it off. Reporting so far indicates that there is no anti-incumbency against the Chief Minister. Then it is perfect. The moment you use while, you have to add one more clause. The editorial talks about while there is no anti-incumbency against the Chief Minister, the individual MLAs do not have the public support. Remember, that is the second clause. Once you use while, you need another clause. Read the second sentence. In the sentence, several of her confidants have been denied ticket already. Is there an error in verb tense? Means is a tense correct or wrong? Several of her confidants have been denied ticket already. Have been denied, which tense is that? Present perfect. And is it active voice or passive voice? How many of you say there is no error? Raise your hands. Good. No error whatsoever. Here there is no time. Underline the word already. I usually tell words like recently, lately, already, yet. They go with present perfect. They have denied the tickets, active voice. The tickets have been denied, passive voice. Nothing wrong with the sentence, no error. Please go to question number 3. What is the error in the sentence? The party hope that this confusion is immaterial in light of the popularity of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is an easy one. Very good. Will you say the party hope or the party hopes? Add the letter S. Here the sentence is in present tense. Subject is the party, third person singular. We should add S to the verb. The party hopes. Go to question number 4. Is there an error in the sentence Vasundhara Raje For space, I had to remove the first word. Rajesh shall look for ways short of an open rebellion to preserve her political standing in the state and the party. Will or shall? Please strike off the word shall and change it to will. Why? If you replace that with a pronoun, it becomes third person singular. And what is the rule that goes with all future tenses? We use will or shall with first person singular and plural. With all other pronouns, we should use only will. We cannot use shall. Go to the last one. Last one is a little tricky. You got to read meticulously. What is the error in the sentence? The BJP has been eager to shake off its dependence on former Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje, an assertive leader who commands her own following that is independent in the party. How many of you say the last part, independent in the party or independent of the party? There is an error in that. Independent of the party. Her popularity is independent of the party, not in the party. Independent of something, a standard phrase. So it is based on a standard expression. Today, idioms also I have presented differently. Do you guys know that I design all these every day? No one does, I myself do. Designed, sometimes you see the poster, written, directed, produced by so-and-so person. Like that, everything one-man show. So please have a look at the first question. What does face the axe mean in the context of the passage? Is it to receive a promotion? Is it to make a bold decision? To be granted immunity? To be removed from a position or dismissed? So what is the answer? Fourth option is the answer. D is the answer. What is the meaning of bury the hatchet? To conduct a ceremonial burial. Usually these options go with SSC. To hide a weapon. To reconcile or make peace with someone after a conflict. So what is the answer? C is the answer. What does it mean to buck the trend? Is it to follow established traditions? To oppose or defy prevailing patterns or expectations? Yes. So what is the answer? Second option is the answer. B is the answer. To oppose or defy. Underline the word defy. Defy means challenge. Challenge. Prevailing, existing patterns or expectations. Embrace means what? To accept. Answer is B. What are headwinds in the passage? Strong winds blowing from behind? Yes or no? Strong opposing forces or challenges? Hold that. Weather conditions in a particular region? Political slogans? No. Answer is B. Today, for the first time, I have brought antonyms. Which word is an antonym for face off in the context of passage? Excuse me. Tell me what is antonym. Is it collaborate? Hold that one. Confront, face off, one and the same. Evade means escape. Write the meaning. Compromise. What is the answer? A is the answer. Collaborate. Not compromise. Collaborate. See the second one. Please have a look at the second one. Go through all the three questions. Give me a few minutes. Have you read? Question number 2 or 3? So what is the antonym for blitzkrieg? Is it slow and steady? Peaceful resolution? Prolonged negotiations? Swift and intense attack? Answer is the very first one. Blitzkrieg means what? To do something in a short time, quickly. What is the opposite? Slow and steady. Answer is the first option. They want the antonym, not synonym. Which word is an antonym for assertive in the passage? Assertive means what? Confident and firm. What is the first option? Passive. Second option, timid. Third option, submissive. In a way, all these are synonyms. But if you take the word confident, what is the opposite of confident? Diffident. Answer is the fourth option. Other three words are synonyms, but here when we say assertive, first word we say confident and firm. What is an antonym for rebellion as mentioned in the passage? Uprising, compliance, harmony, submission. How many of you say B? Raise your hands. How many of you say C? Surprised. First of all, what is the meaning of the word? To oppose. And when do you oppose? When you don't want to follow someone's instructions, you oppose. What is the opposite? You follow someone's instructions. What is the word for follow someone's instructions or follow rules and regulations? Compliance. Answer is the second option. B is the answer. Comply. You don't comply, you oppose. That results in revolt. Shall I go to questions based on this editorial? What is the first one? According to the editorial, what is India's primary concern in the Israel-Palestine conflict? Is it supporting? First one is ruled out. Hold the second one. Ensuring the safety of its citizens. Promoting indiscriminate, not correct. Advocating for Israel's actions, not correct. So what is the answer? Ensuring the safety of its citizens. That is the answer. Which Indian Prime Minister was the first to visit? Easy to answer. In 2017, what did India vote against regarding Jerusalem? That's an important question. India voted in favor or against? So what first one is ruled out. India voted against recognizing Jerusalem as the Israeli capital. It went against the US and Israel. So answer is B. According to the editorial, what is the primary message conveyed by India's foreign policy regarding the Israel-Palestine conflict? Is it unconditional support for Israel? A balance between condemning terrorism and respecting international humanitarian law. This seems right. You don't have to go beyond. Answer is what? B is the answer. Complete alignment with Palestinian interests, not correct. Opposition to Israel's actions without exception, no. Answer is B. What challenge does the editorial suggest India is facing in terms of its foreign policy on Israel and Palestine? Is it balancing historical grievances? Hold that one. Dealing with insurgent groups, maintaining consistent positions, complexity of balancing its policies. So what is the answer? Is it A or D or B? How many of you say A? Balancing historical grievances. Hold that one. Is it dealing with insurgent groups? No. And what is the third one? Maintaining consistent positions. A general statement. Complexity of balancing its policies. I think it has to be D. Answer is D. Underline the word challenge. What challenge does the editorial suggest India is facing in terms of its foreign policy on Israel and Palestine? It's a complex issue. Editorial says that the complexity of balancing its policies. Are you ready for the words? But before I ask, did you spend some time, honest Words from yesterday's editorial. High stakes. First you have to tell the part of speech. Idiomatic expression, you can also say adjective. Meaning what? It means a lot of risk involved, either this side or that side. Stakes are high, risk is involved, and a party or a business or an organization either can gain a lot or lose a lot, this side or that side. Incumbent, adjective, meaning current or holding in office at the time of talking. Buck the trend, idiom, meaning go against the trend, overcome the trend. Face off, part of speech, phrasal verb, meaning confrontation, one word, confrontation. Bury the hatchet, idiom, meaning to patch up or reconcile the differences and work together. Blitzkrieg, part of speech, adjective, meaning to do something, to do a lot in a short period. It goes with the context. Remember the context. The Chief Minister introduced a lot of welfare schemes in a short period. Then we use this term. Short period, a lot. That's two things you have to remember. Avert, meaning prevent. Headwinds, it could be a noun, it could be an idiomatic expression, meaning opposing forces, or literal meaning wind from the opposite direction, means opposing forces. Confidant, adjective or noun, it is a noun actually. What is the meaning? It could be an adjective also, but basically a noun. What is the meaning? Trusted person, person is a noun obviously. Assertive, assertive personality, adjective, meaning confident and firm. Face the axe, idiom, meaning to lose one's position or to get removed, to get fired, any of these. Nurture, verb, meaning to take care, either a person or an idea. Rebellion, noun, meaning oppose or revolt. Do you remember the words you got yesterday? So after the session, spend some time, look at those words as well. That's all for today. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. I will see you guys on Monday. All of you please be here. Because of? There is an important announcement.